Hello and welcome to Connect the World. I'm Lynda Kinkade, live from the CNN Centre. We begin with an eye on America. In the days ahead, we could get more details on how President Donald Trump plans to turn his campaign promises into action. On Tuesday, Mr. Trump will lay out his agenda in his first major address to Congress. This week, the administration is also expected to roll out a new version of its immigration order. The original order, which would ban travellers from 7 mostly Muslim countries, has been held up in the courts. Well, there's one place where we will not see Mr. Trump. On Saturday, he tweeted this: "I will not be attending the White House Correspondents Association dinner this year. Please wish everyone well and have a great evening." Well, that dinner is in April. Mr. Trump's decision may not be surprising. He has had a contentious relationship with the media. For more now, I'm joined by Brian Stelter, our senior media correspondent and host of Reliable Sources. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. Thanks.
Now, it's not surprising, really, to be honest. He has called the media the enemy of the people. And the last time he attended this dinner, he did receive a roasting from President Obama. Let's just take a listen to that.
All kidding aside, obviously we all know about your credentials and breadth of experience. For example, no, seriously, just recently in an episode of Celebrity Apprentice, at the steakhouse, the men's cooking team did not impress the judges from Omaha Steaks. And there was a lot of blame to go around, but you, Mr. Trump, recognized that the real problem was a lack of leadership. And so ultimately you didn't blame Little John or Meatloaf. You fired Gary Busey. And these are the kind of decisions that would keep me up at night.
Humiliating, it really was.
He didn't look happy, did he?
No, that was 6 years ago, and Trump has not come to this dinner since. He was a guest that year in 2011. Some reporters even believe that was a contributing factor to the president's decision to run for president. Now, President Trump may have been motivated by that kind of humiliation, those kinds of insults, to want to be respected by Washington types, by the seat of power in Washington. So the New York Times has advanced the idea that it was that dinner in 2011 that partly motivated Trump to run.
Yeah, there's no doubt he does not want another roasting. But how unusual is it for a president not to attend this dinner?
It is definitely breaking with tradition, as you said, but that could be another campaign slogan of President Trump's endless campaign, breaking with tradition. You know, he skipped another big D.C. social event in January, the Alfalfa Club dinner. Now he says he's skipping this White House Correspondents Dinner. It has been more than 30 years since a president decided to skip this dinner. It was Ronald Reagan in 1981 who was the last not to be able to attend. But that was because of the assassination attempt against him. He actually called in instead because he still wanted to be there in some way. But Nixon, Carter, they did skip for various reasons back in the 70s. Ever since Reagan in 1981, the president showed up every single year because it is a moment to appreciate the begrudging respect that the presidents usually have for the press and vice versa. It's a night to put down some of the animosity and acknowledge the role of the press. This, of course, is a very different year, a very different time. As you mentioned, the president calling the press the enemy of the people. So it's not surprising he's backing out, but I think it is surprising that he's announcing it 2 months ahead of time.
It is very different times. Now, on Friday, we had CNN, along with the BBC, New York Times, and several other media outlets barred from attending a press conference at the White House. Now the New York Times have come out and put an ad out. It's very unusual. They've never done this before. Let's just take a quick look at this commercial.
The truth is, our nation is more divided than ever.
The truth is, alternative facts are just plain delusional.
The media needs to be held accountable.
The truth is, locker room talk is harmless.
Now, this commercial is going to run throughout the Oscars tonight.
That's right.
How much of an impact do you think this will have?
The Times is trying to gain subscribers off of this current controversy, off of the president's attacks against the Times and CNN and other news outlets. You think about what happened on Friday, Spicer rejecting certain news outlets, including CNN, from an off-camera briefing. You think about Saturday, Trump saying he's not going to go to the Correspondents' Dinner. What we're seeing are actions, not just words. Originally, it was President Trump using words to bash the press. Now, he and his aides are actually taking actions in order to stamp out news coverage or try to restrain news coverage that they don't appreciate, that they believe is unfair. what we know, I think, from other countries, what our viewers around the world know, is that press freedoms are curtailed not feet by feet or mile by mile, but inch by inch, gradually. We've seen that in countries with more authoritarian climates. And the reason why press freedom groups are worried about that happening now here in the U.S. is because the president's words are so harsh and because we've seen these one-off actions, like, for example, refusing to let certain news outlets into a briefing. Now, was that just an isolated incident? Was that just a one-time thing? Maybe. Time will tell. But certainly it was the kind of thing that was concerning on Friday, and we'll see if there's more incidents like that in the future.
Brian Stelter, as always, great to have you there, and good to have you here on set.
Thanks very much.
Host of Reliable Sources there, Brian Stelter. Well, US Democrats have a new leader in their fight against Donald Trump, but the campaign to pick him shows just how divided their party may be. Democrats chose Tom Perez as their new chairman on Saturday,